Yo, what is going on, everybody? It is Roush, and welcome back to week, what are we at? Week 9 already. Oof. Week 9 of the Pokemon Speedruns Draft League. This is going to be my team builder versus the 1% Rattata and Coach Blainester the Rogue. Before we get going, let's go ahead and talk about my team for a little bit. As you can see, we did take the loss 2-0 last week to CHG Jake and the Razor Blades. That was coming off of, in my opinion, a not very well prepped team. I let myself get a little too crazy and obsessed with bringing a Nasty Plot Crobat. This time, I'm going to play it a little bit safer, especially because Blainester actually has a very threatening team. Now, before we talk about his stuff, let's go ahead and round off my roster. You know it well. I haven't changed my team, and I don't think I'm going to going into playoff season. Every single time I thought about making a move, I took a look and said, hey, what would losing Claydol do for my team? Or what would I gain by losing Incineroar? What would I be using to fill a fire-type slot? Infernape? Well, I'd have to sacrifice Zygarde. And what does that do for my team? And in the end, I just never was able to find a combination of moves that I felt actually improved my team, because I feel like I've got a decent balance as is right now, ironically, especially because my speed tiers that matter are very good, and my speed tiers that don't matter are mainly there because of bulk. So it's not a bad team per se, and I feel like this group is solid enough to carry me through playoffs. So, in the end, no changes were made. Still Zygarde, Tangrowth, Sylveon, Empoleon, Claydol, Shuckle, Mega Gallade, Crobat, Incineroar, Xurkitree, and Greninja. So, that being said, let's go ahead and move on to Blainester's team. So, Blainester has this kind of a weird rain-ish kind of setup going on. It's actually kind of scary, because if you look at it, Zapdos, then Pelipper and Kingdra. So Pelipper, Kingdra being the Rain Core is kind of scary for me, especially because if you take a look at the way his team is trending, he's actually on some kind of a roll right now. So that kind of confidence can be dangerous if directed correctly. But, I mean, Alolan Muck is kind of not really a threat, but it's a very huge annoyance. Tangela can be an annoyance if I let it get too far. Dusclops is kind of a surprise pick that Blainester's been using an awful lot. As you can see, it's top 5 on his team MVP-wise. I mean, to each their own. He likes using it, so that exists. Mega Steelix, a very, very good Pokemon, especially for a low-tier Mega. But Hydreigon, Dugtrio, and Gardevoir are the meat of this team in terms of mid-game. Scarf Hydreigon, Z Hydreigon, both of which have been putting in fantastic work for him. And I need to be very careful to build my team so that I don't lose to the Dugtrio. So I did have a couple of plans in mind, but unfortunately neither of them really worked out, just because Dugtrio existed. I wanted to bring something like maybe a Shed Shell Xurkitree or even a Scarf Xurkitree, but in the end I felt like I had better chance to move elsewhere, especially because Scarf Xurkitree is outsped by modest Scarf Hydreigon, so I didn't want to lose one-on-one to the one Mon that I really needed it to beat. Fortress and Gardevoir, like I said, round out the team. Gardevoir is a very potent wall breaker. Fortress is a very potent wall, especially on the physical side. So, taking a look at his team, he's got a couple of weaknesses. He's got a fighting problem, but he's got Pelipper, Zapdos. So, I was on the fence about bringing Gallade. In the end, I chose not to, I might have been able to, but I feel like Scarf Hydreigon is coming. And I felt like that team slot for Gallade was better fit by something else. So actually, let's go ahead and jump into that portion. So, first off, we have Claydol coming this week. Dot Matrix is carrying the Ice Beam, Toxic, Rapid Spin, and Stealth Rock. This is designed to toxic stuff like Zapdos, Pelipper, really kind of start breaking down the more defensive type mons. Yeah, I can't really do much to Alolan Muck, but I do have something else in mind for that one. So, Toxic Pelipper, Toxic Zapdos, Ice Beam to break down those two. Ice Beam also hits Steelix, Dugtrio, Hydreigon, Tangela, if need be. Dusclops is neutered by Toxic. Blainester has only Gardevoir as a cleric, and the fact that Gardevoir is so potent as a wall breaker, it almost doesn't make sense for him to bring Heal Bell or Healing Wish on it. Healing Wish maybe, but overall, Toxic is a very safe play, and I definitely want Stealth Rocks to pressure Pelipper and Zapdos, especially. So Claydol is here specifically for those, for that purpose. The Colbur Berry is mainly because of Hydreigon. I can use Claydol to kind of bait in Hydreigon, tank a hit, and start getting that thing chipped. Especially because I am bringing the Schwartz this week, so Sylveon is carrying Hyper Voice, Wish, Heal Bell, and Calm Mind. I kind of wanted to do Wish Protect, Heal Bell, Hyper Voice, but looking at his team, if I get rid of Fortress and Steelix, Calm Mind Sylveon with Heal Bell kind of just wins. This team is very specially offensive outside of those mons and Alolan Muck, so if I can get those things taken care of, I mean, the Schwartz kind of just wins. So that is one of my win cons for this week. Continuing along with my defensive core, I'm bringing Tangrowth this week. Leech Seed, Knockoff, Giga Drain, and Toxic. Like I said, barely any status absorbers, with the exception of Alolan Muck. So Tangrowth is a fairly safe option. So Alolan Muck can try and spread Toxic around with, well, Poison Jab, Poisons. But the Schwartz can Heal Bell the entire team. Tangrowth can Leech Seed almost the entire team, bar Tangela, which Knockoff plus Toxic renders that thing practically useless. So my defensive core is designed to just start breaking down everything and keeping each other alive. It's really useful. But like I said, Alolan Muck is still a problem even after that, because my defensive core is all weak to its dual stabs. So along with that, I'm bringing this weird Zygarde EV spread with Sub-Coil. So Substitute Coil, E-Speed, 1000 Arrows. Extreme Speed is so I don't get ruined by stuff like Dugtrio. I can get extra chip on something like Kingdra. 1000 Arrows, of course, hits Alolan Muck. My speed, I believe, outspeeds Modest Hydreigon by a single point. Question mark, question mark, question mark. I think that's what it was. It's been a hot minute since I took a second look at this team. 297. Yes, I think that's it. Yes? Oh, no. That is Max Speed Kingdra. Outspeeds Max Speed Kingdra by 2 points. So, yes, that's what it is. So, Kingdra outside of the rain, Zygarde will outspeed. But, again, this thing is mainly for the likes of Alolan Muck, just because I can freely set up Substitute Coil. Yeah, he can bring Ice Punch. He could bring Ice Punch, but 1000 Arrows is going to be doing massive chunks of damage to it. So, Zygarde wins the one-on-one matchup about 90% of the time. And I do have enough enough HP to have my 101 HP substitutes. So that is specifically for the Dusclops, so that Dusclops can't break my sub with Nightshade. So that is incredibly important for me. So yeah, that's going to be Zygarde for this week. I'm also bringing along Greninja. This is more of a niche type set. Spikes U-turn Ice Beam Surf with the Icium Z. This can be used as a Zapdos lure. Also, Icium Ice Beam hits Tangela really hard, hits Kingdra really hard, hits Pelipper, can hit Alolan Muck decently, hits Dugtrio. Ice is just a very, very useful coverage move versus Blainester because he has one Ice resist on his team, that being Fortress, and he's got 4 weaknesses, being the 4 that the Zapdos, Tangela, Dugtrio, and Hydreigon. So Ice is fantastic coverage versus his team, so having Icium is really nice. Being able to set spikes is incredibly useful because I can break stuff like Dougie Sashes, Fortress Sturdies, Megalix Sturdies, Kingdra weakening it, Alolan Muck weakening it. Just really useful to have Stealth Rocks and Spikes this week, which is why I have Rapid Spin instead of a Defog option with Claydol. But I feel like my end game is kind of simple. I'd like to get in Empoleon. This is the sub Bataya Berry set, substitute Surf, Ice Beam, Agility, because once again, the combination of Ice Beam Surf hits entire team for at least neutral damage. 353 special attack becomes a whopping 520, what is that, 528, 529 special attack with the Bataya Berry boost, so just demolishing everything in its path is this Empoleon. And agility is there with enough speed to outspeed max speed Dugtrio once I get my agility up. Substitute, of course, kind of prevents me from getting straight up revenge killed by Dugtrio, which is why hazards are super important this week to break any focus sashes on it. Surf, of course, will kill, Ice Beam will kill, and everything will be all hunky-dory good. I hope this this match goes better than last week. I put a little bit of extra thought into it, although as of recording this video, I have been away for 4 days, so I haven't looked at this team for a while, so I'm going to review some calcs before the match. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching. I will see you later. Match will be up later on today, and actually, you know what, let's go ahead and fix this. Do that, and I'll see you later. Roush is out. Peace.